On abbey shores where shadows play, the alley whispers night and day. In abomination, alley's grip, where fear and danger tightly knit. Oh, the alley breathes a tale untold of secrets dark and hearts grown cold. Abbey streets, they'll pull you in to the depths where sin begins.
Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Abomination Alley, our BRP actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Carr playing Teak, Eric playing Michael, Jeremy playing Salvador, and Sarah playing Vivian. Who remembers where we left off last time?
Places.
That sounds like the noises y'all's characters were making at the end of the last session.
Yeah.
So I think y'all were leaving the office and heading home for the evening. After having quite a little brawl. Well, I don't know if we would call it a brawl. Eric was in a brawl.
No.
Hey, a scuffle.
Leo
was in a brawl.
A bloodbath. Leo was for sure in a brawl.
Yes, and there was a bloodbath on the front stoop.
Which is probably
Michael
what the paper says in the morning.
Michael was in a bit of one too.
Really got to send that lady some flowers or something.
Well, at least you kept most of the mess outside the house.
Yeah, but...
You know, Michael beat up the guy inside, but you know.
Mhm.
But he lived.
Yes, he did. For now.
Well, he's in police custody, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, y'all ended with in the office after having taken, what was his face? Noah Collis, to a safe house that Michael already had set up for some reason.
Yep.
You suspect that some of the invisible men may have been trying to track you back there.
Uh-huh.
But a couple tires blow out, and darn,
It's
this
weird.
thing.
Yeah. No telling how that happened. It's strange.
Very, very strange.
Yep.
So yeah, sit around at the office, decompressed a little bit, and then went home.
Yeah.
If I recall right, out of all of you, Vivian was the one that got roughed up the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Teak took a knife to the
She's
shoulder.
fine. She really doesn't need her hands.
Yeah, look, Leo did do a little bit of magical healing, so the hand should, full use of the hand should come back shortly. Yeah, I mean, you more or less have full use now. Maybe it feels a little weak when you do stuff, but Lilac is quite upset when you get home, and
She gets scolded by someone about the size of a house cat.
Look, you had 2 veterans with you. Michael can apparently set things on fire now. Teak's like a cowboy out of a movie with his pistols. You shouldn't be coming home looking beat up.
No.
Okay.
she's gonna have a talk with those boys.
Just let me be present so I can just watch you waving your finger at people that are, some of them are over 6 foot.
She's like, I have no problem getting up in anybody's face.
I know.
Mm-mm.
Vivian has seen her do it.
And then she insists on making you some tea before bed.
She will let the tiny fairy mother hen her.
I'm waiting for this scene to happen where she finger wags us.
You've put it out there in the universe, Jason. It now has to happen.
It does. It does.
Salvador goes home and just like goes to his apartment, puts his duffel bag down, gets his clothes ready to be laundered or whatever the case may be, is in his jammies, sits down or lays down, and screams into his pillow, and then goes to sleep.
An appropriate response.
Primal screaming.
Yes. Maybe audible still if you like happen to be walking by, but muffled through the pillow.
About to say, does anybody come knocking because you're screaming?
God, the landlady comes by and is just like,
I'm okay. It's been a night.
I appreciate the work you beorn do, but you better not be interrogating people in there. Now I have a room in the basement if you'd like to writ an interrogation.
Oh no!
whoa, wait, whoa!
Excellent.
Well, it's not an interrogation room. It's just a room in the basement that is available.
I respect the hustle. I am going to sleep.
Well, let the 30s and the Depression roll around. She might make those kind of offers for real.
Yeah.
The fourth mafia is actually the Sprite Mafia.
All right, so Vivian goes home and gets mother henned. Salvador goes home and does some primal screaming.
Uh-huh.
Teak, is there anything specific you do when you go home?
Not specifically, but question. At the end of last session, weren't we moving into Michael's place?
I think we
Michael had made the
officially
offer.
Did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had mentioned it, but nobody responded. So
Okay.
Yeah, we all kind of ate our
it's
food.
fine. I
and
just
parted
couldn't remember.
ways.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that and if everyone had mentioned yeah, let's do it, he'd go, but all of us in one place would be really tempting target.
Yeah.
Teak goes home, opens up a hidden like cabinet that he fashioned, and pulls out a thing of scotch, pours himself a thing, puts it in, and closes it.
Bum, bum, bum.
Drinks and goes to bed.
Just in case Michael ever comes to visit.
Mm-hmm.
Though I'm not sure it would actually be illegal for Teak to have that. I don't
know.
Under Prohibition, it was illegal to sell it. It was not illegal to buy it, though. Which is how speakeasies were able to operate.
Yeah, but Teak's hiding his... It's like one of the really good bottles. Teak's hiding. He spent probably a paycheck on it.
He got the cheap stuff out where people can find it.
Yeah. He spent the good stuff on it, and he's like, I'm only breaking into this because I got stabbed. And there's not much drink from it.
And does Michael do anything when he gets home?
Mostly sit and think.
He's doing that whole sit in the dark and brood thing, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm picturing David Boreanaz right now.
You're welcome. But I mostly he'll probably bring this up if they meet up tomorrow. But deliberating if he needs to call his sister or not.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
I won't go to a speakeasy, but this mobster over here, I'll give her a call.
This mobster with supernatural abilities that may or may not dislike me. Just give her a ring.
Yeah.
They're family. I'm sure she cares. It may be that
Maybe.
antagonistical kind of caring, but
Either way.
all right. So,
But that is kind of where his brain is at.
so Michael sits in broods for however long he sits there in broods.
Yeah.
Some of you sleep well through the night. Some of you are probably tossing and turning a little bit. Some of you may be having bad dreams. Maybe about tonight, or maybe tonight's just brought up memories of,
Deep-seated trauma.
Yes. And this is the 20s. You always deal with deep-seated trauma by stuffing it down.
Just huffing Valium or something.
That's
What
not
is
just the
talking about
20s.
Yeah, but that's not just the 20s. I do that now.
Are we talking about the 1920s or the 2020s? Because
Just the 20s.
Look, you guys are snitching on yourself. Is all
That
I'm
doesn't
saying.
help your situation, Jason.
Yeah. So
So yeah, next morning
Elvish
rolls
vices.
around. Vivian, by the time you wake up, Lilac has already gone out and gotten a paper.
all right, what's the bad news?
Well, you made the front page, but you're not the headline.
I hate to ask how, and she's like trying to read over Lilac's shoulder, which probably isn't horribly hard.
Over close to the docks, yeah, somebody busted in on a spot and appears to have mowed down a bunch of mobsters.
that wasn't us.
That was not you. You were not dealing with mobsters, as far as you know.
Do something.
He's reading over the shoulder, like. Which mobsters? Which flavor of mobsters?
She's
Jason.
like, it's the Italians.
Okay. I was going to say, Jason, Teak would have been the first one at the office and would have gotten a paper.
Well, this is Lilac going out and getting one before Vivian gets up at their apartment.
Yeah, I'm just telling you,
Going out the window.
Teak would be the first one at the office.
Oh, okay.
And grab a paper then, if he doesn't have to go to work.
There's usually a paper boy right outside that diner.
Okay. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
So the headline is kind of, night of violence, and the main story is about these mobsters getting shot up. Neighbors or people in the neighborhood reported, lots of gunfire. But it was apparently over fairly quick. Police are investigating. They don't know if it was theft related or this, they don't exactly know what was going on. There was some booze.
Everyone here looks exactly the same.
Some booze was found on the site, but it's like, nothing appeared to have been stolen.
People were killed and nothing was stolen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the article mentions it, because that's kind of weird.
It said mowed down. It says in the thing that they were shot, not like mauled by wild animals or.
Oh no, all it was a bullet wounds.
Okay, fantastic, ish.
The police are investigating. They've they're sending off some of the bullets to have them examined by experts. And it gives a brief little thing on this, crap, I forget what it's called now, where you can analyze the bullets. It was a fairly new thing.
Forensics.
Right.
Yeah, it's like brand new right now in 1925.
Yeah, fingerprints have been around for a bit, but the ballistic forensics stuff was fairly new.
Well, at least we have an alibi.
Yeah. Oh, she's like, lower down in the front page is the article on y'all's little shootout. They don't have a whole lot of details. They know you guys were involved. That you were attacked and basically defended this woman's house. They seem to know that somebody was hiding with the woman. They don't identify him as Mr. Collis, though.
That's good of him.
The interesting thing that the paper does mention, an oddity that the coroner discovered, and that somebody from the coroner's office, reported this to them anonymous,
Obviously.
Is each of them had a coin surgically inserted under the skin on their chest.
Oh,
Be that thing that, well, I haven't seen the paper yet, but
That seems a bit weird. Okay.
It's super weird.
Yeah. Have you
They're
heard
super
of
weirded
anything
out.
like
The
that
writer is
before?
super weirded out by it.
I'm even weirded out by proxy. That's yeah.
And the writer kind of wraps
It's
the article
weird,
by
Duff.
talking about how weird that is, but what else would you expect if it's a case that the beorn are involved in?
That's fair. That's fair. Did it mention anything about them being similarly like ordinary businessmen or anything like that?
It does mention that they were all in business attire.
Okay. I should probably go. The others will probably be at the office, and yeah, they're probably going to get the paper, and there was going to be discussions about this.
Lilac's like, all right, let's go.
Brings Lilac along. She will take, after she gets dressed, she'll wrap her one hand, like kind of almost athletic bandage brace, like ace bandage brace kind of, just to treat it nice for a couple days.
All right, so y'all head out. Let's see, Teak. You said you were going to be the first one at the office. You were going to grab a paper on the way.
Yep.
So
when he sees mobsters, he's like reading it intently. Then when he sees Italians, he just flips the page.
That's those guys. All right. Where's the comics?
It's just their turn to be the ones to get messed with. Okay. Where are the funnies?
Where's the horoscopes?
did they have those then?
Horoscopes go back quite a ways.
Oh, okay.
Did they have them in the paper? I'll look. Give me a second.
Yeah, it's one of those things about like when you mentioned, I'm like, Were those in the paper then? I don't know.
Bring me Crazy Cat.
Mm-mm-mm.
1916, I think.
Okay, there we go.
The Victorians got big into that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Damn Victorians.
Excuse me, 1930.
Oh, never mind.
My
1916
damn
is when they
Victorian
first.
still holds.
1916 was when they
Yeah,
first
yeah.
started doing horoscopes like mass, but 1930 is in the newspaper.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah.
Granted, we could say there's some wiggle room since it is strange folk around.
Hmm.
That's true. When
Maybe in the
got
more
people that can do
strange folk
actual
populated
magic,
area.
superstition's probably a little bit stronger.
That probably would have gotten in the paper a lot sooner with strange folk around.
Cats and Jammer Kids. Still going through the comics.
Garfield was 1978. Anyway,
Yep.
Do we have a Miss Cleo for this time period?
Most likely.
wouldn't that be anti-Gen?
Yeah, that's kind of anti.
Damn it, you're right. Yeah.
If she had a column in the paper.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anti-Gen is just kind of the superstitious Dear Abby.
So yeah, so you go into the paper, you see the the front, the main headline about the mobsters. You see, the stuff on you, on the you guys down at the bottom.
He has coffee brewing, and/or has gone down and gotten a cup of pot of coffee.
Let's see.
Yay.
You see where the mayor, whose name I suddenly blanked on.
Did I have him written down?
Allery Lorraine.
Probably.
I actually don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, photographic memory. Come on now. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
dropping
I just had him down as the mayor.
Dropping in
I
the,
didn't put out his name.
dropping it in the road.
Photographic, not typographic.
Yeah, I guess.
Ooh, maybe it's phonographic. He remembers what he's on. He has perfect memory of what he hears. But there's an article about, he unsurprisingly is announcing, that he'll be running for mayor again. What is a bigger deal in the paper is they're talking about a Wayne Phillips who has announced that he'll be running against him.
Interessante.
And it gives a little background on Wayne Phillips. He's been living in the city for 4 or 5 years. He's originally from Cornwall, England. And he's basically taking a platform of kind of, clean up the city sort of platform.
Makes sense.
But he's a business owner, philanthropist. It kind of goes in the whole thing. Salvador, do you go to the office when you wake up?
Eventually, I start. I do a little light workout.
Your calisthenics.
Yeah. This is light calisthenics, and then the blood's pumping a little bit. So, and then he'll start heading over.
Okay. On your way out, you see one of your neighbors. The ones that frustrate your landlord.
Yeah.
Just in passing. It's the husband. He's walking in with a paper, so probably ran out and got a paper and just coming back in for breakfast. He just gives you a nod, Mr. Salvador.
Sir.
Now, do you have your own vehicle, or do you take a cab, or?
I walk, so I'm probably gonna get there last unless something happens.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Michael.
Yeah, he's gonna head to the office too.
Okay. All right. So T gets there first. Vivian and Michael are probably the next two that show up with Lilac. Lilac is kind of mean mugging everybody. Well, not so much Vivian.
She got mean mugged prior.
Well, she got fussed at the night before. So. And eventually Salvador shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Lilac stands up on Vivian's shoulder, cracks her knuckles.
Vivian is just acting as a stage.
Boys, we need to talk.
Oh boy.
She should not be the one getting beat up. You guys are all stone cold killers.
So is she.
Wait, we're not talking about her right now. We're talking about you. And she is just right there.
Like right here.
Like right there, you gotta cross your fingers, cross your eyes rather than really see even see your finger.
Yeah. I think Salvador says that at first, and then as she starts like pointing in, like she will start talking. Whatever she is saying, it just like it's going like this to Salvador's. Like
Teek's like still just in the paper. Teek's like just still in the paper.
But yeah, she's going off.
She's like, if I don't move, she won't see me.
You carry that big rifle around, but you can't shoot people before they get to her.
You just hear her go, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
To be fair, I did kill at least one or two of them, I think.
I'm sure you did great, sweetie.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mom.
I think
Thanks, Mom!
as she finally stops, looks back, she sees Salvador's got like 1,000-yard stare.
She pauses in her rant for a minute, and then shifts her focus over to Michael.
Respect.
Mm-hmm.
And you! I don't expect you to shoot a lot of people. I don't know, but you even have that skill. But you set an assassin on fire. You couldn't set... Oh, well, I guess these guys were assassins too. You couldn't set them on fire before they got to her? I read the article. Nobody was set on fire.
This is the road you want to go down. For one thing...
Vivian has a look like that was the wrong thing to say to her.
I was not even outside. I was inside protecting the person that we were trying to keep them from getting to and fighting off others that were inside the house. I wasn't outside when all that happened, and if I did set someone on fire, which I don't plan to, willingly, I would have burnt the house down with all of us there.
She narrows her eyes at you. All right, I'll let you slide this time. And then she zips over and she like drops down between Teek and his newspaper.
Hi. Then just flips the page with her in it.
How did Teek die? I don't know, man.
I'm just imagining like
he's just sitting there, and he just looks at her, and then
there's a knife that comes out for some reason.
Just cuts through the page.
Yeah, she cuts her away. Shh.
He just flips the page again.
That's it. I'm getting the fairy shot.
The what?
Getting the what?
The fairy shot.
Okay.
Sprites and fairy. Well, sprites are fairies, but yeah.
I feel like
You've
Salvador knows
often
what
heard
that is
stories
because they're, like,
about the things they
connected.
would do with their arrows. The little bitty arrows. But the little bitty arrows will drop about anything it hits and put them into a magical slumber.
That's fine. Tick needs to sleep.
I think Salvador goes, well, if you do that, then we're not. There's going to be less people to protect Vivian.
She finally manages to struggle her way out of the paper.
Deke's still
Like
just
a wet,
reading.
like a wet bird.
I cannot understate just how amusing that mental image was. Like I just imagine like her
Oh.
dropping against like bug on a windshield, just paper.
Yeah, she's kind of fuming.
Like a mouse in a glue trap.
Mm-hmm.
He's mumbling.
Vivian
Salvador
will
shakes out.
re-offer the shoulder.
Salvador shakes out of his like stupor and is like, "Look, we had a job to do, and that is unfortunately part of the job. We all got hurt."
She looks over at Tick. He looks okay.
No, he doesn't.
Pulls down the thing where he got stabbed and then puts it back.
She kind of drifts down like she's gonna look at it. And then she grabs her hat and flies to the window with it.
Okay. I'm still just reading.
Lilac she tries to grab the hat.
Fine.
This is part of the job. I'm not super keen about the parts that are hard, but the hard parts make it so that everybody has, like, people like yourselves can have an easier day. And he's like breathing.
She settles back on Vivian's shoulder. She's still just sitting there crawling. She does
You're
not
gonna be upset about it. That's
she does
fine.
not seem entirely satisfied with y'all's explanation.
Vivian looks a bit apologetic, like she was gonna do it
Don't apologize for me. I have nothing to
Yeah,
apologize.
you can apologize for yourself.
So anyone else read the paper this morning? Aside from Teak?
No, what I miss?
Teak folds it over to the front and then just lays it on the coffee table.
Ah,
Michael takes a look
Well.
and as well.
mob, and like so Salvador like puts his finger on the like the sub headline. Is like, oh.
Which one did he put his finger on? Which headline?
Just the sub headline for the main headline. So it's like mob attack gone wrong. Or
Oh,
something
and
like
then
that.
us.
And well, no, it's a sub headline that's like the Italian. It's like where it specifies the Italian
them.
mafia.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
I just wanted to understand.
mob, orc mob, dwarf mob. Nope, Italian mob. Okay.
Yeah, Michael kind of hovering over his shoulder a little bit, just goes, that would explain what Basley didn't want to tell us. Or potentially, anyway. He did say that he had suspicions.
Do we have a vigilante? I mean, I say that fully recognizing that we are likely going to be classified as vigilantes. But do we have other vigilantes at play?
I don't know. I don't really like not knowing either.
Did in the paper did it say it said they got shot up, but they say if there was another mob involved or anything like that?
They don't know who did it. The mob guys seem to have been taken by surprise. And while there does appear to have been some return fire, all the bodies they've identified are, either known to be associated with or suspected to be associated with the Italian mob.
Oh no, what a tragedy.
It could be Brew.
I don't know if the brew would bother with firearms.
If they're equipped from somebody else.
The thought of the beasts of my nightmares wielding firearms genuinely puts me ill at ease.
Would the brew even be smart enough to use
It ain't
firearms?
that. It ain't that
I know
hard.
it's,
Uh,
but with that accuracy or precision.
they use, like they use bows, don't they?
That's fair.
You know, it's harder to, you know, it takes more training to use a bow than a gun. That's why
It-
everybody switched to guns.
The brew, when we were fighting them in the butcher place, did they use a draw bow or a crossbow?
Oh, they were using standard old bows,
Okay,
kind of crudely made, but
sure.
but they were fairly. Were they fairly accurate? They hit somebody.
They were pretty.
Mhm.
They were pretty effective.
They hit several people with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess could
even
be.
if it's not the brew, it could also be the Invisible Man.
Mhm.
We have no idea how many of those there are.
Speaking of, and Michael sort of goes to our headline and goes and reads through like sort of the reports and goes, "Oh, that explains a lot." Didn't know it was a coin though.
Mm.
Right when I was fighting that one in the house, I could see some like magic aura situated on his chest, like over his heart.
Yeah.
So when we were fighting, I kind of aiming for that. See if there's some form of protection or.
Any luck?
I don't know. Tempted to see if we could ask for one of the coins so we can maybe try to identify what it does.
With it being part of an investigation, I doubt you're going to get that unless you
Well,
call in
yes.
a favor of our favorite chief.
Us being involved and being what we are, maybe they'll let us have a look.
That's possible. There's also to keep in mind that they did have multiple, so they might not need them all,
Hmm.
potentially. But
Now you know what to look for.
it's true. I don't know if any of the others had it. All I know is just the one that I was fighting inside did.
Now, according to the paper
Did it mention in
article,
the article?
each of them had that.
Each of them had it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, yeah, well, I guess they might all have had it.
Weird.
Wonder what they do.
Could
I'm not sticking any
be
under my skin to find out.
Well, I'm not either. I mean, I've got more than enough marks on my skin for one day.
maybe it's like a communication thing or a control thing.
Surely it could be like divined instead of like trial and error.
Or it could be magic based.
Well, I mean the usage, the purpose of the coins.
Mm.
Like someone can hold it and be like, "Oh, it does this," instead of like having to, I don't know, use it.
Oh, you mean we could figure it out?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that police station down there even really have a strange folk presence? Would they even try to do that?
I think the one that has them all, they're mostly human.
Yeah, the all that event went down up in Highland Park, the Highland Park area, in the northern part of the city.
Mhm.
And you've worked with them a little bit, on the woods up there where the brew tracks and stuff were found.
Yeah.
So you have something of a working relationship with them.
Mhm.
You're probably not on as good of terms with them as you are the Windburn precinct, though.
I think Windbird could ask for it if we can't get it, peek at it.
Good.
We could always go ask him first, but
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely go ask. I might be able to get one of them, or at least examine.
Hmm.
If I
So
do
what's the play?
that, I don't know. Like, is anyone wanting to come, or do we go together?
Salvador, as we're talking, we have a window outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go to. He's gonna go to the window and just kind of like look around and see if any invisible men are like, or at least from our vantage, if we can spot what could possibly be invisible men. I know the point of them is to be invisible, but like
Yeah.
we
You
we've
look
seen
out
them
there.
around.
Nobody stands out. Everybody looks normal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if you're looking for guys in suits and hats,
Sure.
it's about everybody. People going in and out of the diner constantly.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. How high up are we from the ground floor?
Did I say y'all were on the second floor, or was
Hmm.
there a third floor?
I don't know. It's your
I think
think
building.
we're
y'all
on
were
the
on the second
second,
floor.
but there is a third.
Mhm.
Yes, that's right. Because
Yeah,
when the police showed up that one time, y'all went up to avoid them.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And Salvador's kind of looking outside, like, it's so weird to have a target, and also the target is everybody walking the streets right now.
It's like you're wandering around in the Matrix. Anybody could be an agent.
Mhm.
But you don't notice anybody that's just like loitering.
Okay. There's
Everybody
nobody
you see looks like
loitering.
they're going somewhere.
Okay. So nobody's loitering, and there's if I look straight down, there's no one slowly scaling the wall.
No. They're scaling down from the roof,
Okay.
so you don't see them.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
Gamers don't look up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's wild.
Correct.
Teak always looks up.
That's just because he's short.
But that's just so he's not staring
Exactly.
at crotches all day.
Wow.
Well, do we want to try our luck and go see about getting a coin?
A no is better than not knowing.
Yeah, and then we could even
What
see
day
if
of the week
Windbird
is it?
wants to help.
Good
I
point.
know you
Yeah.
asked that last time.
Mhm.
Let's roll a d8 and
So
reroll
it's
one
the
of
next day.
Yeah. It's the next day from what I told you it was last time.
Because that helps me.
I want to say it was a Wednesday last time, so it would be a Thursday.
Okay,
Okay.
so Teak would probably have to work.
Yeah. Yeah, Leo was working in his shop, so that's why he's not here.
Yeah. So
Well, if we're having, and this might be a long shot, something I wanted to bring up just to the group. If we're having trouble finding them, If we need to, I could see about maybe reaching out to my sister.
I know that's big for you. Is
I
that
see
what you
that
want to
look. Yes.
Was Lilac there when y'all discussed his siblings before?
do? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just Vivian doing the slow head turn. Lilac's doing it, but also leaning forward so you can see her, so she can see you around Vivian's head.
Around like the door frame of Vivian's head.
Yeah.
I thought she was like a mobster you ran away from.
She wasn't in charge of the family then. And I don't even know what they're doing for that matter. All I know is that she is very, very powerful psychically. And a lot of those gifts revolve around precognition and divination to find things and people and see future events.
She must be great at the stock market.
Cards.
Michael goes very quiet.
He's already a lawyer that can read your thoughts. So, like, that's already cheating.
Does he say that out loud?
No. That was
okay.
Jeremy.
I was like, because Michael cannot read thoughts.
No one knows that.
That's true. No one's asked.
You know my opinions on her, but
Aware.
if you think it will do any good,
And shoot yourself in the foot at the same time.
if she's as good with precognition as he says, she already knows he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It
she
wouldn't
hasn't bothered
surprise
him
me.
yet. Oh, maybe she knows he's going to call.
Yeah. We could go around in a loop about this for all different kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
Just keep pulling back the curtain and saying, "It was I knew all along." That's not a thing.
She's something.
Vivian Lilac
Aren't
looks
all
at
of
you.
our
You ever
siblings?
get the impression that when we left Chicago, maybe we should have gone to Detroit instead?
Yeah, maybe, but it's really too late to go back now. Though I hear Duluth is lovely.
They make good boots too.
Fun fact, company actually I don't think was started there.
Probably not. Probably wouldn't start in the 20s either.
Yeah, I was like, Michael, he just kind of goes quiet again.
Lilac looks around. Oh, usually when you have these meetings, your secretary's here.
Yeah, where is Dorothy?
She was on a date last night.
Yeah.
Lilac's like, oh. Well, she might be sleeping in.
Let's hope she's just hungover.
Has anyone been to her apartment before? Kind of looking at Salvador, because I think she would remember that he did take her to weapons training.
Mhm.
And Michael would obviously know. And I'm pretty
Yeah, and
sure
Michael.
Teeks probably dropped her off at some point.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Takes more than once, probably.
I could always go check in with her. Was she supposed to be at work this morning?
As long as I'm working, yeah.
Was she at work this morning?
Well, he came straight here. So.
I came straight here. I haven't gone into work yet.
Fair enough.
You don't. What time is it?
By the time y'all got here, probably 9 by the time you got here.
We don't.
Or by the
leave
time y'all
until-
are having this discussion.
Typically don't open the office until about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Well, all right then.
Oh, is it on the way to Highland Park, or what was it called? Yeah, Highland Park Police.
Oh yeah. Y'all be driving. Y'all be heading north, northeast.
Sounds like a good enough reason to stop by.
She lives in roughly the same neighborhood Michael does. Not too far from it, at least. Mostly human area, but kind of middle-ish of the city.
Yeah.
Middle-ish as far as a class.
Well, I mean geographically, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it would more or less be on the way. All right, so y'all loading up in the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Teek's probably having to go to work, so about this time, I'd
No,
assume.
that's fair. That's fair.
If anything comes up, I'll call.
Teek nods.
I'll drive by and dramatically spring you free of work.
Again.
Damnedest thing, beorn duties,
Mhm.
Pardon me, I need this kobold for a moment. Just grabs him and walks out.
Yeah.
All the other guys Teak works with. Oh yeah, it must be rough.
As Teek is like being dragged out, he just flips them off.
No, just like hands under the armpits, just
This extremely attractive elf is like pulling away this
I
blue
wish
collar
some
worker.
Sheba would come by and steal me like that.
all right. Off to go. Check Dorothy's.
All right, so Teak heads to work. The rest of y'all head towards Dorothy's place. Teak, you get to work just as the shop is opening. By the time you get your coveralls on and get your tools out, you round the corner. There's a man in a suit talking to your boss.
Oh boy.
Kill Bill sirens.
Does he look like an ordinary man?
He's in like a business suit. He's got his a hat.
Okay.
He's got a hat.
Can I make a listen roll to see what they're talking about as he walks by?
Sure. Give me a roll.
Special.
Something about a carburetor. And with a special, you recognize the voice. Oh wait, this is Mr. Allen. He's brought his car in before.
Well, if Teek recognizes it, he'll walk by and say, "Hello, Mr. Allen."
Oh, hello, Teek. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, can't complain. Other than this, insert profanity here. Car, keeps giving me trouble. Wife won't let me replace it.
Any coins inserted under your skin recently?
No, it is a good idea.
Forget putting your money in stocks or bond. Put it under your skin.
It's more secure than a mattress.
Exactly. After a certain amount of time, you just kind of jingle as you walk. And then die from metal poisoning.
Teek walk over to the car. So, what's the problem?
Then he goes into the whole carburetor thing.
Nods. He'll look at his boss because he's talking to his boss. It's like, what do you think, boss?
I guess you can go ahead and get started, right?
Okay.
And then
So
they step over to his office to discuss prices or whatever. The rest of you arrive at Dorothy's apartment. Didn't notice anybody following you. There's nobody loitering around her door or anything.
Well, good.
maybe instead of all of us just knocking on her door and possibly making this very uncomfortable, looks over at Lilac. Could you see if you can see into her window, maybe?
Oh, sure. And she takes off, flutters around, over to the side and up. And after she peeks in about 3 windows, she comes back. Which one's hers?
Michael points
Looks
to it.
over at Michael and Salvador. Yeah.
Gotcha. And she zips up to the little second story. Yeah, we'll put Dorothy on the 3rd story of this little apartment. 3rd story corner. Front window, she's like, you can kind of tell the curtains are drawn. She goes around to the side. You see her land on the sill, and then drop down and like start scooting under. Like Dorothy had left the window, maybe left the window cracked.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't do anything stupid.
It's questionable whether this could be counted as breaking and entering, since she's not breaking anything.
She's not
Entering
breaking,
and
just
snooping.
entering. Yeah.
A little bit later, you see her scoot back out, and she drifts back down. Yeah, she's just up there sleeping.
I hate to sound morbid, but you are sure she is sleeping?
Oh, absolutely. I checked that. Trust me.
Oh, she snores. Okay.
Well, no, you land next to her and you stick your ear to her nose. When her nose is as big as almost as big as your head.
That's fair.
I just imagine Lilac's hair is blown back.
No, that'd have been while it was happening, and then pull back the other way.
Ugh. Well, we know she's alive. I'm sure she'll show up to work in 15 minutes.
Call from angry boss.
Unless you want to go up there and make her morning exciting.
No, let's let her be.
Lilac's she's just sitting on Vivian's shoulder, kicking her leg. She's got this look on her face.
Insight. Can I insight check the fairy?
I guess if you want to, go ahead.
She's asleep.
So's the guy next to her. Is there insight? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah, there's critical.
You've seen this look before. She's got something she wants to tell you, and nobody else is paying attention.
Kind of raises the eyebrow, but she'll wait.
So if you all start loading back into the car, or maybe I don't know if y'all would have gotten out of the car now, think about it. But once y'all get underway, Lilac leans over and like whispers into your ear. She had a big love bite on her neck, which is the term they would have used.
Vivian has a.
That's the term they would have used.
Vivian has a coughing fit. It's the weirdest damn thing.
I think the date went pretty well.
With the ordinary gentleman.
Well, you don't know what Aloysius looked like.
No.
How normal a name is Aloysius, though? If you were a super ordinary man, would you name yourself Aloysius?
It's a very peacock name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah.
He's gonna be my next Humblewood character.
Aloysius.
Aloysius the Peacock.
Fantastic. Bard.
We'll see. Maybe just a fighter.
It's like, Bart, let's not go that far.
Anyway. Yeah.
Sorry,
That
swallowed
word
air
is
wrong. I'm
speaking
fine.
for- You good?
I'm good. Just swallowed air wrong.
Okay. And Salvador will keep moving forward. If all's good here, then we can just go.
All right, so y'all load up and head towards Windburn.
Windburn or Highland?
I'm sorry, Highland Park. I'm just used to y'all going to Windburn, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
The desk sergeant
Windburn
sees
is
you
Plan
walking
B.
in and immediately sends somebody off.
Get the file.
They have a file too?
So y'all walk up. He's like,
Maybe.
Mr. Anderson, Mrs. Crap, what was Vivian's last name?
Rosenberg.
Rosenberg. And friends. What can we do for you?
So we saw the news in the paper about the men that attacked us yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll admit I kind of figured that's probably what y'all were coming in here about.
Yes. We were curious about the coins that you all found.
Oh
And
yeah,
if we could
well,
see
the coroner found him. Yeah.
Will we be able to see one of them by chance?
Well, I don't know. And he starts looking, and then a man comes out of the car. Here's Detective Stewart. He's in charge of the investigation.
Okay.
I'm sure he can. He could probably fill you in on that kind of stuff more.
Did the buck just get passed?
Well,
You're
just
pro
imagine
now,
that-
buddy.
Desk sergeant would not have had the authority to give you that sort of thing.
I just imagine that somebody's behind the counter. It's like, call the other police department, bring out the file.
But Detective Stewart walks up.
Mhm.
Mr. Anderson, pleased to meet you.
Detective?
And he shakes hands with everybody.
Mhm.
So what is it? What is it that brings you by? I mean, I
As I
assume
was
the
saying-
incident yesterday.
Yes, I was playing to the desk sergeant here. We did see the news about what had been found regarding the men that attacked us yesterday.
Yeah. We need to plug that leak in
And
the coroner's office.
it probably should, yes. But we were curious if we could examine some of the coins. Might be related to a ongoing investigation of our own.
What is it that you're investigating?
The disappearances up here in Highland Park.
Oh, right. That was in the report of why you were in the area. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, let's step back into the evidence locker.
Okay.
He takes you back there, and they've got he talks to the guy, man in the locker, who passes this envelope over to him, and he opens the envelope, slides it out, and it's. Let's see, there were 4 of those guys outside, and 2 of them that had gotten in the house.
One.
One had got in the house. There was one climbing up the house, and there was
4 at the front
Yes.
stoop.
So,
4 at the front stoop.
Okay.
so my friends engaged 4 in the front. I engaged 1 inside the house, and my friend Tikir engaged 1 in the side
takes it
alley.
I'm not there.
Oh, that's right.
Gestures
Yeah.
at the empty
Yeah.
cheek spot.
Yeah. And our
Or maybe he just
our
makes the
friend-
hole, this tall with his hand.
Yeah, I say, and our friend Teak engaged the one.
Pops out of your
beside
pocket.
I think he's like, yes, we recovered 7 of the coins. Now the envelope,
7?
when he slides them out of the envelope,
Pardon,
Is it-
7?
4. No, it would have been 6.
6.
It would have been 6. My bad.
Okay.
Okay. I was about to go.
My bad.
There was a 7th.
He was the truly invisible one, man.
I guess.
No.
Yeah.
Behold.
So when he pours them out of the envelope, though, there's only the 5. He's like, the coroners are still doing some, or they've sent one off, try to figure out, where the coin's from and whatnot. He goes, no, he probably wouldn't bother with gloves. They've already dusted them from prints and stuff. So.
Mhm.
But he picks
It
up.
was inside a human man.
It's been washed off. They used alcohol.
That was more
and
of their
everything.
That was more. Would there be prints on it if it's been inside a human man?
Oh, now that's a fair point. And they would probably check regardless. So yeah, then he picks up one of them up and is holding it out to you. And it's it's a gold coin about yay big around.
Funny thing, I have this right here, and it's Super Mario coin. So
Pretty similar to that.
Got a mushroom
very,
on one
very
side.
thin like that.
Okay.
I just have props today. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if it works. So I'm gonna make a cult roll.
Okay.
Hopefully it works.
Is there any
Does not.
imagery on it?
It appears to have been stamped.
Yeah, cult fails.
Okay. You see a few, some of the symbols stamped on it. On one side, there's a couple of runes.
Okay.
I mean, I guess technically you can call all the writing runes, but you recognize a couple of them as, the runes the strange folk brought with them.
Cool. I go back to episode 1.
Uh-huh.
Any of these
And-
runes?
and go over the entire list of runes that Auntie Jen explained to Michael, since she had all of them out and was explaining them to him.
The guy's just sitting there, and he's just rambling off stuff.
Which ones match?
All right.
Humana, 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 humana. Let's go.
So you
Yeah.
see one that
Yes,
looks like
that's-
you see one that looks like a cross. That's the death rune.
Okay.
There's this sort of hemisphere with the flat part on the bottom. That's stasis.
Mm-hmm.
All right now. I know there's one for spirit. Why am I not?
I have spirit. It's a. I'll screenshot it.
Yeah, I was about to say I just pulled up Chaosium. Oh, there it is. Yeah. This rune describes disembodied entities existing in the spirit world.
It has been dropped into the chat.
Ah, yes.
Mm.
Kind of an X with a
Like a fish standing
With a
up.
peak.
yeah.
Yeah, a standing up fish.
A pointy fish, Daniel.
Yeah.
And then there's the symbol for man that looks like a little man.
Mhm.
And there's lots of other symbols dispersed in and amongst there, but
Those are the main ones.
those are the ones you recognize for sure as being like the kind of runes like y'all drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Some of the other stuff is maybe magical, but you don't specifically recognize it, and you don't necessarily know how those runes are playing,
Yeah.
into each other.
That's an interesting runic array on this thing. Hmm. So he's like talking out loud as he's going through it. So this one means death. That is stasis, spirit, and man. Not sure how they're intertwined within the other runic languages that's inscribed on here.
Oh, you've studied some of this magic stuff, huh?
You never know what you're going to run into in the courtroom.
Yeah, that's fair. And in the line of work you're in now. But yeah, we're getting ready to send one of them off to some sort of occult specialist.
We do know someone who's rather well versed in the runic languages. Would you allow us to take one to see what they can decipher?
Give me
Persuasion?
yes, persuasion is exactly what I was thinking of.
Barely.
It is a success.
Nothing else. Nothing else. He did look at the coin, so he could draw it out later.
That's true, yeah.
But no, he kind of nods. Yeah, not 100% sure the chief would exactly love that. He looks over the guy, manning the evidence locker, and that guy just give him a stare. If you sign it out, all I care about is if you take one, you sign it out.
I'll do that.
Not you, him. He gestures at the detective.
Oh.
So Detective Phillips is like, all right, please get this back to me in one piece.
I will do.
And he puts the other 4 back in the envelope. It's a smaller envelope that they put the one in. And you see him, sign the logbook.
Mm-hmm.
Now put your John Henry here.
He hands the envelope to you.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Any information, obviously, any information you get, please pass it on.
Of course.
And I assume you got Mr. Collis stashed away safely?
He is elsewhere within the city, yes.
All right, good. It's
Considering
a shame we got to be so careful about that, but...
Well, I'm just glad we did, because we got followed by 2 of the same individuals along the route. We lost them, but he taps the bag that the detective just gave him.
Oh, how many of these guys are there?
There's no telling.
Yeah, we haven't had any luck questioning the one you brought in. But of course, we had to take him to the hospital.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Interestingly, by the time he was awake, there was already a lawyer there.
Is it safe to hazard a guess that said lawyer is under retainer via Miss Estella Voss?
It just so happens I checked that. But no, not that we can tell. Oh, did we lose somebody?
Yep. We lost the Jeremy.
Jeremy, no.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, Raggy.
That's jumbled our windows all up.
Yeah, it has.
This happened to me Sunday too. One of the players dropped briefly.
All of our faces are pretty much visible. We can wait and see if they come back.
Oh yeah.
Now you just have to play the character where you are. Luckily, Jason, you can slide between two windows.
Wow, the size of my head changes though.
Oh, it might have been a. It was a full DC.
Yeah, may have been like a power thing.
Could be.
I'm sure they'll let us know when they can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one most likely. All right. All right. So he patches the coin. He's asked about Collis.
Yeah.
Let's see. Was there anything
Welcome
else I wanted
back.
to pass on to you?
I'm as back as I am for now.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be back on stuff.
You good?
Yeah, I just toe tapped my power cord.
Ah,
I have done that before.
okay.
Mood.
That's why I
have
keep mine
done
out
that
of.
before.
That's why I specifically keep mine out of like foot reach, unless I really, really stretch.
The only thing I can kick is my like actual power in the wall. So I kick that, everything goes away.
Yeah, I just tapped it with my toe, and much like cats doing it, everything went out. Oh, okay. But it's a Lenovo, so it pops back up real fast.
Nice.
Not a sponsor, just really cool brand.
Just an appreciator.
Yes.
Yeah. So how much did you miss?
What has happened in the last scene? I heard Michael go over about the coin, try to divine about it, and then get a little bit.
Yeah. So he knows all of the folk runes that are on it,
Mm-hmm.
and their meanings, and we got the okay to basically he signed out a coin, and the plan was he hadn't discussed it yet, but the plan that he was going to go is, hey, he learned all this stuff from Auntie Jen. Let's go ask her.
Yeah.
Since she's stated on multiple occasions she knows the runic languages. So
Honestly,
she
sounds
can
like
advise.
something I would have recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Luckily V has visited her recently, so we've got a little good thing. It's not like, hey, we haven't talked to you since like episode 10,
Yeah.
but we're back and we need your help.
You never call, you never visit, but when you need something.
Well, she
You're
did.
gonna miss me when I'm gone, that's for sure.
She
Yeah,
did
y'all
state
probably will.
that whenever we do need her, that we could call on her, basically. So, but anyway, yeah.
We're pulling out that call on her card.
Basically, yeah. He'd mentioned like after they leave, that he was planning on heading to Auntie Jen's, which he knows is a well. He wouldn't say Auntie Jen. He'd just say to what was her Genevieve?
Genevieve was the
Yeah,
first name.
Genevieve.
Genevieve, yeah. He'd just call her Genevieve, or Miss Genevieve. But he mentioned that he would be heading to Miss Genevieve's place to see if she might be able to help us.
I mean, I visited her recently, so if nothing else, I can go as, hey, look, we're here again.
They're still alive.
True.
Mostly.
Physically. Do you want to come along, Salvador?
Where am I going?
Auntie Jen's.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Is he still doing the
Yeah.
1,000-yard stare down there?
It's lessening. He's just coming down from it.
He's stuffing it all back down where it belongs.
He's
Mm.
trying. It's like trying to get luggage in a suitcase. It just every now and again just keeps coming back up.
Mm-mm-mm.
Even will give the narrow, squinty eye kind of like, I know that kind of. I've done that before. Look.
I know this look. But yeah,
Don't say
that's where
anything out loud.
that's where Michael would go though.
All right, so the three of you head to Auntie Jen's.
Mhm.
Did you want to call the office and let Dorothy know you'll be late?
Good point. Can I use your and he turned off, so can I use your all's phone, please?
Oh, sure, come on here. Yeah. Let's see. I don't think it's the 20s. I doubt they'd have individual phones on their desks, but they'd have several available.
They have the TARDIS.
Wrong country. No, I bet police boxes. Or police boxes are out in the 20s. They were phasing them out in the 50s, which is why for a show set in the 60s, it was in a junkyard.
Yes, telephone booths were introduced in the UK in 1920.
Ah. So same time period, different country, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he takes you over to, I guess back over to the desk sergeant. Tells him you need to use the phone.
Yeah. Mostly what he'd do is he would call the office. Hopefully Dorothy is there.
Let's see. You're at her house. Probably at least a half-hour drive. It rings several times. Just about the time you're going to give up, you hear it pick up. And you hear Dorothy a little bit out of breath. Hello, Michael Anderson's office.
Hello, Dorothy.
Oh, hey, Michael. You're late.
Hey. Yeah, we're running an investigation right now.
Okay.
I'll be a little late into the office.
Oh, okay, no problem. I've just been here holding down the fort.
Mm-hmm.
Holding down the fort.
That's what they call it in the 20s.
I just not even saying it, just insight.
Given the out of breath, you figure she was probably just getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And like had to run from the front door to the phone to answer it.
Here's the death she's unlocking. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a little bit of traffic in the background that tells you she probably hasn't shut the front door yet.
Yeah, he'll just say, well, I'll be in later. Please remember to shut the front door.
Yeah, okay, see you then.
That's the 19th version of Bow Chicka Bow Wow.
Jazz.
Just extended saxophone.
So it's just because my brain is almost permanently in Warhammer mode most days. I'm just imagining like epic sax like Marine on the tank.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So somewhere else in the city, Dorothy is probably running back and shutting the door.
Anyway, onwards to Antigen. Thank you, Sarah.
So you swing down to Auntie Jen's.
Mhm.
Her maid answers the door like usual.
Hello.
Oh, we have a chatter. Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome
Hello.
to the show. First time chatter.
Hey. Welcome in. Welcome in.
You gotta say what their name is.
General Tampon Male.
Okay.
That is a name.
It
Sure
is a
is.
name. So the maid opens the door. She sees three of you standing there. She's like, "Oh, I
Apologize
assume
for
you're here on
coming
business."
by. Yes. Apologize for coming by unannounced, but like to know if Miss Genevieve is available.
Let me go see if she's receiving anyone at the moment. We have a phone, you could call it head. And then she shuts the door, trots off. Then just a minute later, she's back. Yes, Miss Genevieve will see you in the kitchen.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you go in there. Genevieve has clearly finished her breakfast and is still sitting there, sipping tea.
Yeah.
She strikes more of a breakfast tea person than coffee.
Yes.
Hmm.
Most elves.
Just elf things.
Mm-hmm.
Just help things.
Though she had coffee because I think she gave coffee to George when he showed up.
Yeah.
Dwarves are more coffee drinkers than tea.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, "Oh, please come in, sit down, dear. Get them some tea." Or some of you coffee drinkers.
Tea's fine.
I'm non-partial. I enjoy both.
And she was looking right at Michael when she said that, like she was expecting the elves to do tea.
Hmm.
Ooh. General Tampon Male has gifted a sub to.
Unintentionally me. Thank
Grumpy
you.
Cleric. Well,
Thank
I figured
you.
it probably goes automatically
Hello.
to people that are in the chat. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's an algorithm for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we greatly appreciate that.
We do.
Thank you. Thank you.
But so y'all are giving your tea.
Mhm.
So how have you been? Oh my dear, what happened to you? She's looking at Vivian's hand.
It's fine. Just a little hazard of the job. Which partially brings us to why we're here, I believe. Kind of looking over, like, would someone bring out the coin?
Yes. And he will produce the coin. It's like, so I recognize the runes of death, stasis, spirit, and man on here. What I am having trouble understanding is how they intertwine with the rest of the runic matrices on the coin. And I was hoping you might be able to decipher it for us.
Well, I'll certainly give it a look.
Slides the coin over.
If it helps, it was also inside of the chest of a human. Chest, maybe body of a human.
Over the heart.
She was like, "Yes, the paper said it was over the heart." Looks over at her maid. Fetch the magnifier. And she comes back with an old-timey looking magnifying glass.
Fantastic.
These old eyes just don't see as well as they used to. Yes, you've identified the runes correctly. The rest of this, some of it almost looks elven. Probably some human mage's bastardization. You see her, she takes a piece of paper and a pencil, and she basically does a rubbing of the thing. both sides.
Yeah.
I imagine the
That-
police
that
will want this
would've been
back
smart.
eventually.
Hmm.
I assume it hasn't done anything to any of the officers that have handled it.
Not that we've been informed.
I should probably have asked that before I handled it myself, but at my age, what does it really matter?
If it's powerful, a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But, so, uh, let's move this soiree into the library.
To the library.
All this
The
is happening.
library.
Tika's yanking on a carburetor.
They come off easier if you
Tika's-
unbolt them.
I did.
Can't be stuck if it's liquid.
But so y'all get into the library. She drops the rubbing she took into a desk, and she starts picking off books. Flipping through them. She's got books on like Nordic runes, like human magical writings from various eras. There's one on cuneiform. Though at this point, I don't think that's been translated.
I don't think it has.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah, like the ones that are like on Marcus. Wow, Michael's skin. I have a lot of characters I rotate around. Like in addition to the folk runes, there's also like Nordic and Celtic, like mixed in.
Yeah. And she's slapping books down on her. She fills up her desk, and then she's got this wooden wheel thing with shelves that she starts setting books in that and spinning them.
Can we sense the jealousy radiating off of Michael at her library setup?
She does have a very nice library. And all of it seems to be, kind of the woo-woo magic related stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it's probably some weird esoteric histories and stuff, but she's like, this could potentially take a while.
Well, you probably have more of a clue about it than they do.
Indeed. Let me keep the coin for a day. I mean, I've got the rubbings, but I would like to examine the coin closer. She picks it up and kind of taps it on the edge of her desk.
Mm-hmm.
Do the police know if it's solid gold or if it's some mix?
I don't believe that came up.
She nods. She goes like, I'm not 100% sure it would matter. I guess it depends on the nature of the magic used. I'm really only an expert in runes, but
Because Vivian is a bit paranoid.
you're inciting Auntie Jen?
Auntie Jen. Look, I have played enough games with you. I trust no one.
Nobody betrayed you in the last game. Name a person that betrayed you. I specifically did not let anybody betray you in the last game.
You did.
Yeah, you betrayed Art. No. And it's one game out of how many? 6?
Yeah, something like that. Or is this the 7th game?
Espergenesis,
Vampire.
first Vampire, Scions, second Vampire, Star Wars, Lancer, Abomination Alley.
So
I've only been here for.
And you enjoy it.
You dragged me in, and now I can't
Welcome.
leave.
Beginning and scary.
You're
I'm
welcome.
just saying. There is a track record of NPCs that we've trusted.
There is.
Look, if you take all the NPCs you've encountered in all of my games, it's a very, very small percentage that have betrayed you.
My insight check still stands successful. And to be fair, Vivian got betrayed by getting married off to a scumbag, so she's got a little
That's
suspicion
true.
there.
That's true. If she can't trust her parents, she's probably not trusting anybody. Maybe the sprite. The sprite may have earned some trust.
Yeah, Lilac she trusts, like, regardless. Her and Lilac are ride and die.
But
Ride and die. Cool.
Just both. We're
You
off
will
into
ride,
the
You will die. Bad boys for life.
off the cliff. Thelma and Louise in it.
Just see Vivian and
Lilac just flies and is like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
just see them both with ski masks on. Just.
Uh,
I could see it happening.
what happened? They turned to a life of crime.
Bonnie and Clyde, Vivian and Lilac.
only they go off the
The
cliff at the
AU.
end, Thelma and Louise style, but Lilac can fly.
Yep.
Oh, I don't think we thought this out.
We did
Oh.
not. Oh dear. But about that Annie-Gen insight roll.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be up to anything.
Okay.
Like she's maintaining her poise to some degree, but you can tell she's a little jazzed to have a research project.
Professional curiosity, not malicious curiosity.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. Shoulders kind of relax a little bit.
Sorry, I'm checking something.
Mm-mm-mm.
So yeah, so she asks you if you can leave the coin with her for a day. You can come back early tomorrow morning and pick it up.
Let's see. We do have to return it, but we weren't told when.
Another legal loophole.
I'm sure they don't expect us to bring it back within like an hour or anything
Or
like that.
actually have a lead.
Yeah.
Well, you did tell them you were taking it to your own expert, so
Mhm.
they'd have to expect it to be a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll swing by tomorrow morning and pick it up if you want.
Were you addressing that to Jen or to Michael?
No real
Wow.
plans, and I should probably relax with practicing.
Okay, you froze for a second there.
Yeah.
We came back
I'm
in like
sorry.
mid-paragraph.
What was the last thing you heard?
That you could pick it up in the morning.
Okay, she was addressing it to both Michael and Auntie Jen. She's like, I should probably relax on practicing anyway, so I don't have anything really planned.
Joe, that would be fine, dear. Come by early enough we can have breakfast.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile,
Mm.
Teak,
At the carburetor.
you have finally gotten the carburetor
Meanwhile,
off.
the carburetor.
You're not sure how this guy how he does the things he does to his cars.
He's just holding what probably is like a slag of metal, and he's just like, I'm not going to ask questions. He just puts it down
Just put a new carburetor on there. Call it good.
and just walk away. Just walk away.
I want nothing to do with this. The sooner the better I'm out.
So the next car that comes in gets towed in, basically.
Is it like a wreck or?
It's got a flat tire, and the front grill's got a hole in it. And you know, just glad here, like, oh, that probably busted the radiator.
What do I need to roll to see if that was maybe like a gunshot or if there was just like a rock or something that punctured it?
Or if it's the same model car.
Yeah.
That
The
one
ones that
probably
Teak
figured it
saw
out.
that got pulled over.
Yeah, or the same model car. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not the same model car.
Okay. Because Teak did see the models of car when they drove by.
Because he clocked that it was the same model and the same paint job for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's just out there blowing tires on every vehicle.
He's got a new hobby and it's very destructive.
Jason got dark all of a sudden.
Let's get stress relief.
Oh yeah, I was about to look at models of cars. Nope, it can't be a model. Let's see. Oh, they reused the name. Weird.
I think he kind of looked like the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car.
But one of them was way too old to be what we need, and one of them won't come out for a couple of years.
Classic.
Missing a link.
Someone's trying to make a flying car and it failed.
So we'll just go with the good old-fashioned Model 2 or Model T. But
okay.
Though one of the newer ones, so it's more of the enclosed cab or whatever.
Much better than Teak's.
yes. This one probably came with an electric starter from jump.
Yeah.
Factory. In fact, there's not even the option of a crank in the front. But the boss walks in talking to a gentleman. And the guy's like, oh yeah, we were driving along and we got behind a big truck. It must have kicked a rock or something up off the.
Again, what do I need to roll to see if it was something other than a rock?
I
have mechanical, structural, and fine manipulation. I would figure it would be structural or mechanical, though.
Yeah, either one of those would be fine.
All right.
So you're over there.
I'll take a success.
And when your boss sees you walking there, you're like, "Oh, you're done with Mr. Allen's car. Excellent. You can help out with Mr."
Yeah. He'll chuckle and be like, "Yeah, go look at the centerpiece over there on the trash heap."
Good Lord, that man should not be allowed to own cars. Well, better cars.
I don't know what he does to them.
Better cars than horses. Then I'd hate to see what he'd do to a poor animal.
Oh.
Surely he's too old to be out racing.
Condition?
Yeah, he'll take a look at the damage.
All right, so you're poking around the damage. And the guy that was talking to your boss is talking to you, and he's giving the same story. Something got kicked up off the road. He pulled over too quick. Hit the curb, and that's what popped the tire. You start fishing around, and yeah, it's an awful small hole. And you end up having to take the radiator out because it's definitely punctured the
Does it go?
radiator.
Yeah, does it go through all the way through the radiator?
I think how stout the radiators would be.
I don't remember. I think the radiators were probably made of steel back then. I don't remember.
Could be. I don't know when aluminum became a big deal. No, whatever it was did not go all the way through the radiator.
Okay.
You managed to dig out what is clearly a bullet.
He's holding it up, like he probably had to use some pliers, and he pulls it out, and he looks at it. He's like, "Yeah, that's a rock."
Are you holding it out where the guy can see it, or just where you?
Yeah. He's just holding it in front of him, looking at it.
Oh, that looks like a bit of metal. I don't know. Just some trash on the road, I guess.
Can I insight this guy?
Do you have to?
I probably don't have to, and it's going to be terrible because it's a freaking me rolling a 5.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Never Azteek to insight anyone ever. Everyone is trustworthy in Teek's eyes.
Very bad for a mobster.
Would you like to make a luck roll to try it?
Oh yeah, and I pass out? No.
This guy seems like.
This guy seems fine.
This guy seems to be telling the truth.
Come to find out that it's the bullet and the casing and the gunpowder still in there, and Teek gets shot with it.
So no, you just think this guy's got a great poker face or something.
Okay.
Well, either some stray shot hit his car and he doesn't realize it, or he's an awesome actor.
Hmm.
As he's looking around the shop whistling. So yeah, you tell him,
It looks like it's just the radiator, so if you want the front fixed, I mean,
yeah, probably. We need to know how much it costs first. Oh yeah, and if y'all get another tire. And as you're working on the tire, there is a on the not a hubcap, but the middle bit. Like the rubber's too shredded for you to really make any details, but but there's a big ding that you're like, yeah, that would probably got shot too.
He's like, after seeing that, he's like, someone was really trying to stop him. He's just gonna pop off the tire.
So yeah, you spend the next hour or so. I don't really know how long it takes to change the radiator.
Well, depends on if they have the part and if they have the tire.
You definitely have a radiator on hand that'll fit a Model T.
Yeah, probably same for the tire, because I mean, if they even kept them in stock, I'd assume probably both.
Yeah.
Would probably have to call him back to fix the front if he wants the front fixed.
That would be the longest thing. Mm-hmm. That is something that if you had to replace the part, you'd probably have to order that from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But he seems happy enough to get the car back in working condition, and the shop can just give him a call. When the piece comes in to replace to get the front grill looking good again.
Better.
All right. So meanwhile, the rest of you probably leave Auntie Jen to her research.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do we warn her about the normal-looking business dudes? If just a group of people that look exactly the same show up?
Call one of us. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's we honestly probably should have been checking to see if we got followed on their way here.
It's all good.
And Jason, sorry, I don't mean to stop, but was he a human? The guy that was
Yes, he
who
was
brought
human.
it?
He
Okay.
was human.
Just check.
Did he have a pinstripe suit?
Did he look ordinary?
Did he keep scratching
He
over his
looked
chest like he just had a
fairly
coin put in?
ordinary, though he was in a brown suit. Brown suit, the same kind of cap that Teak wears.
That wouldn't he wouldn't know if that was like what the Italians wore or anything, right? They wore pinstripe, I think.
They were big on
right?
pinstripes.
Okay.
That was a big time mobster thing back in the day. I think
Gotcha.
because pinstripe suits was more expensive, so it was showing off you had money.
Gotcha. Anyway, continue with them. Sorry.
I don't know. So the maid kind of ushers you out or walks you to the door. Well, she seems excited to have a project.
Yeah.
I'll have to be sure to remind her to eat. She gets very wrapped up in things sometimes.
Projects are good though. Something
yes,
to
definitely.
look forward to.
Yes. At her age, you need to find ways to keep yourself active.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not too active, but
Mentally active.
yes. She takes you out of the door as you're leaving. She's like, "Oh, Miss Vivian, breakfast is at 7."
I will make sure to be very prompt and on time.
Ah, very good. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
See you in
Mr.
the
Michael,
morning.
Mr. Salvador.
Just head.
I think Michael and Salvador both did the head nod thing.
Mm-hmm.
And since I haven't brought her up, we're gonna say Lillian ditched y'all as you were going to Grandma Jen. She's got stuff to do today.
Lilac.
Lilac, excuse me. Yeah.
We acquired a kobold and then we lost her.
Yeah.
Cobalt shows up high and then disappears.
We didn't really think anything of it. We're just so used to kobolds where it's like, oh, it's just a kobold.
That's fine.
All right, so where are y'all heading from Jen's?
Michael's going to the office.
Okay.
Or his office, not the office.
Yeah.
'Cause he has work to do.
So you get to the office. Dorothy's there doing whatever it is she does for you. Maybe it's paperwork. Maybe it's researching some topic you've given her.
Vivian will come just to see if it's very obvious what Lilac told her.
Also, nope, never mind.
Would Vivian like to give me a spot?
Sure.
Michael failed his.
Yeah.
So she's got, there's a collar on what she's wearing, and she's clearly used a little makeup to kind of try to hide it. But
Oh, this was more of like on the way to his office.
oh,
Followed.
Oh no, you didn't see anybody. You're clearly fine.
I don't know if Sarah's role was for the same thing.
I'll roll for seeing if we were followed on the way to the office. I'll keep the
Oh,
success
okay.
to
That was not what she. That was not what
spot
her-
the hickey.
Okay.
That was not what she was actually rolling for at the time. But
Oh,
But she'll roll to see if yeah,
Critical.
were we followed on the way to the office?
Yeah.
there's a car that seems to be back there behind you the entire trip.
She'll bring it up and kind of nod back.
Is it the same car?
It is not. This one's... Yeah, it wouldn't be super fancy. It's
Maybe
kind of
that's
middle of the road, kind of a middle of the road car. It's not. It's not an old one like Teek's got, but it's not super fancy either.
It's not extremely normal businessman car.
It's not the same model as the ones you saw the night before.
Vivian will turn around and look at the driver.
Like just very blatantly turn around and stare at him.
Oh yeah, no, she's like, what? I'm allowed to look at people who are driving on the road.
So you stare at him for about 2 blocks.
Mhm.
And then he
Prolonged
takes a turn.
eye contact.
And then he turns. Mm-hmm.
Was it a very normal businessman?
No, this was a younger guy. He is in a pinstripe suit.
I think that was an Italian. Or one
He's
of the
still in
Italians.
range.
Let's see, with a crit. Yeah, he could have been Italian.
Oh, pinstripe suit.
Yeah. Well, now, some
They're
of the
known
orc,
in the city
some
for-
of the orc mob wears pinstripe suits too.
Was it a young gentleman orc?
No.
Because she knows most of the Italian mafia in the city wears pinstripes, she will say it looks like it could be one of the Italian mafia. Had a pinstripe suit.
Oh, the tire, no.
I mean, up to you at this point.
Are they still following us?
No. When she gave him the death stare for two blocks, he turned. And like did not look y'all's direction as he was turning.
But yeah, to office. And then her success to see.
Yeah. She definitely got a hickey, but she's like, it's not super obvious. You knew what to be looking for.
Hmm.
And there's like a almost empty pot of coffee. She's got a cup of it on her desk.
Yeah, Michael comes in and is like, Dorothy?
Oh, hey, Michael. Oh, hey, Vivian.
Morning.
We're all doing beorn work. Oh, and I wasn't there.
Yeah. No, you weren't. Have a good night.
Yeah, it was okay. Why do you ask?
Nothing.
Vivian's looking at the
'Cause I don't-
ceiling a whole
'cause I
lot.
don't think Michael was there when she talked about her date.
He wasn't.
No, he was just asking if she had a good night. That was it.
She's like, oh, yeah. It was fine. I was up a little later than I should have been, probably.
That would explain the rush to get to the office.
You should have been a lawyer. You should have been a detective. But yeah, I was out dancing kind of late.
Well,
So
as
he
long as
just
you
got
had
me a
fun.
little tired today, too. I need to take up walking or something.
Well, I'll be in the office.
Okay.
Vivian just kind of leans over. You gotta put a layer underneath before you put the makeup on.
I was in a rush. I woke up late.
Figured.
I don't think he noticed that I don't say nothing to him.
I'm sure he didn't notice. He misses a lot of things, I'm sure. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, all right.
I'm
She
gonna
seems
go
pleased.
check up on something. See you later. And wanders off.
You
I
roboted out there.
am the. Which one?
Michael.
Hmm?
You
You
for
roboted.
me at least, you roboted when you in
Really?
the middle of
Okay.
the comment.
Yeah, he just calls back, be safe.
I am a paragon of safety and decorum, and closes the door before that can be countered.
Retorted, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his day is going to be working and doing occasional like odd jobs. Basically, his career.
Gonna do his job.
Yeah, he's going to do his job.
Yep, yep, yep.
My job.
Salvador, where are you headed?
I think Salvador is. I think Salvador has an idea that he isn't sharing with the class right now. And so in order to enact this idea, he's just going to like kind of walk around town by himself, just kind of like people watch, and uh, make it obvious to anybody who is watching him that he's by himself.
Okay.
But he's just gonna like be around the diner for most of the day, go up to the office, do some like light, do what counts for like busy work. If there's any papers that need to be pushed or any, outstanding calls we need to make, catch up with what's his name? Zoot, Mr. Marlowe.
Okay. Yeah, he's gone back to Chicago, but
Yeah, I just catch him up on things.
yeah, y'all
like
got your numbers.
most of it's chewing the fat because I think we kind of caught him up on the thing he wanted to be caught up on.
Yeah. He was mostly there for
So.
Mickey's murder.
Yeah. And then towards the when it's closing time, like anyone else who's working a 9 to 5, he will walk by himself home.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Give me a listen roll.
Yeah. Reminding the GM that I know this is a listen roll. I'm reminding the GM I have dark vision.
That's fine.
Yeah. Listen. That's I actually want to spend 2, if that is okay with you.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big deal if you don't hear something. It's
Yeah.
it's not going to hurt you or anything.
Sure won't.
Model T runs him over.
More of a failure. Okay. It's okay. I wasn't meant to hear it. Oh, wait. Yeah, I wasn't meant to hear it. It's fine.
You feel something poke you in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a woman's voice. Stick him up.
He will go to put he'll drop he will hold his hands up.
Oh, you actually did it. Huh.
As she says, oh, he actually did it. Like if she like gesticulates even a little bit, I think he can feel it on his back, and he turns around and like tries to like grab the gun.
You turn around, but she's already taken a step back, and she's holding her fingers up like this. You realize she poked you in the back with her finger. It is not a woman you recognize.
Can I help you?
I was going to tell you it's an interesting plan, but they're not going to assault you now.
Oh, are you just reading my thoughts now?
Oh, no, that's not something I do.
May I help you? Otherwise,
Well, I thought I'd help you and save you some time.
I appreciate that. I was truly going about my day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and who might I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Oh, I'm sorry. How rude of me. My name's Rachel.
Rachel.
And you are, I
Salvador,
believe,
but
Mr. Salvador.
you probably know that, yes.
You've gotten kind of famous here in town.
Yeah, well,
I've even heard
Reputation's-
of you back home.
where's that?
Oh, Chicago.
Chicago. Okay.
I'm just over visiting family.
Not anybody I know, huh?
I don't know who all you know.
I think you know who all I know. You made a conversation with me without even like me trying to facilitate a plan. You know who I know.
You're clever. I think I'm going to like you.
Hard work gets you some places.
This can go nowhere but well.
Oh, it'll go great. It will go great.
Sexual tension's off the charts.
It's gonna be like
Maybe that's the
Espergenesis.
thing. Maybe
That's
it
my
runs it-
cousin.
Maybe it runs in the family. Maybe it just runs in the family that they got things real.
Yeah.
No, me just over here going, at least it's Rachel and not Alexander.
Wait. How big was the guy in the car?
She did great.
Well, you know, he
Alexander's
was
a
sitting, it was hard to
mountain of
tell.
a man.
Yeah, but if he looks like a refrigerator in a car,
No, this was a younger guy.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
The fact that everyone's like, it's like
now they're backtracking every step.
scared. Everyone's scared. Like we're scared right now. And Tika's just like, I'm working.
I'm fixing the car.
Yeah.
He's like, today's great. Nothing bad's going on.
Oh, that's a bullet. How did you do that to a carburetor?
And that brief moment when you saw a guy in a suit from behind, and there's like, oh wait, no, I know that one. I know that guy. Never mind.
Above table, real quick. Michael has let the rest of us know his fam about like the like bullet points of the family, right?
Yeah, they got the bullet points of it. He didn't go into the nitty-gritty details, but just that he had psychic powers. He's the youngest of three.
Mhm.
They both have psychic powers that are stronger than his own.
Okay.
And they
Yeah, so-
do vastly different things.
Yeah, so he's very much like, I think you know who I know, and I
Yes. I just wanted to meet some of Michael's friends before we dropped by and visited him.
are you planning on visiting the rest of us?
I'll probably speak to you all at some point while I'm here. I certainly want to meet with Vivian.
Why do you want to meet with Vivian? I think completely cold face. Salvador's like, why do you want to meet Vivian?
That Sprite will cut you.
Oh, girl stuff. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, I don't need to tell you where the office is, so
Oh no,
See
I
you
just
in the
thought
morning,
we'd chat as you walked home.
okay. I don't mind. I don't mind a walk and talk. Certainly more comforting than well, again.
So we will wrap here for the night while Salvador and this Miss Rachel just have a conversation.
Just a normal.
I do
Everyday
want.
It
conversation.
is a remarkably normal conversation, actually.
I do
Yeah.
want one thing from Teek's little thing. He's going to ask his boss what the gentleman's name that had the hole in the radiator was. Also, radiators were made from brass and copper during this period and didn't get aluminum until 1970.
I knew aluminum
Nice.
took a while. And brass and copper make more sense since you're running so much water through it.
Yeah.
And brass would probably stop a bullet. Depending on how thick, I guess. But anyway. So yes, Salvador and Rachel having a perfectly normal conversation. You know, she hasn't seen her brother in a while. She's asking Salvador how he's been. You know, about some of the beorn adventures y'all been on. You know.
Mhm.
Totally normal.
He's gonna
She
milk the shit
seems
out of this. You're
perfectly
psychic,
pleasant.
you know. He's gonna milk the shit out of this. You're psychic. You see what's swimming around here right now.
The funny part is
No.
she's not the one that can read minds.
It's like, no,
He doesn't
I
know
don't
that.
do that. I do know you were screaming into your pillow last night, though. Is there anything you'd like to
That's
talk about?
weird. We can talk
Well, I
about
don't always control exactly what I see. Oh, she is, let's see. She's 5'9".
Mhm.
So not terribly short.
Yeah.
She is
Shorter than her
about-
brothers, but
she's about Salvador's height. I think. What did I put him at?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting considering the last time that she saw Michael, he was shorter than she was. He shot up like a weed.
oh, she's not gonna be happy about that at all. But anyway, I hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Bit of investigation.
What was the guy's name for the vehicle, by the
Oh,
way? Sorry.
I have it on a list somewhere, but I don't have the list pulled up.
Okay, no worries.
I'll try to drop it in the Roll20 chat afterwards.
This will be found at some point in its life.
But where was I? Oh yeah, I had fun.
Sorry.
Y'all had fun. Oh, everybody that came out and watched had fun. We thank the general that showed up in chat and dropped a gift sub.
Thank you.
We certainly appreciate that,
Yep.
and we hope y'all will join us next time. Again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me has been Sarah playing Vivian, Carr playing Teak, Eric playing Michael, and Jeremy playing Salvador. And we will see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
So tread with
Goodbye.
care and heed the sign. Abomination, Ali's light. For in the night the shadows grow and take with them your troubles